So as y'all know, there's been an internet war surrounding Fresh and Fit, Alban Preach, and the star, the baby mama Daisy Fit Chen. Now, Myron went on live 2 nights ago and basically dropped a bunch of supposed kind of maybe bombs on the baby mama. And he begun with basically admitting the fact that Fresh is an idiot for getting the baby mama pregnant, which I was waiting for them to finally do, is admit that they're not entirely practicing, if at all practicing what they preach, and that Fresh has effed up here.
We didn't want to bring this stuff out, but it is what it is. So let's start with the beginning, okay? Let's just address the elephant in the room. Fresh is an idiot, okay? I had this conversation with him off air. I told him, this girl is bad news. This is, what the hell are you doing? Having this girl, etc., unprotected, whatever. Let's just call a spade a spade. He made a big mistake. Big mistake rocking with this girl, hanging out with her, etc., right?
The problem is, this isn't Fresh's first big mistake. Okay, this is my issue with Fresh and Fit. This is my issue with them. I like Myron. Myron seems like a cool guy. I like these guys. They make fun content. They make good content. I like them. The problem is, though, this isn't the first time Fresh has done some romantically questionable stuff, right? This isn't the first time Fresh has been caught up in some stuff. Remember when Fresh was dating that chick called Miranda, the chick he found on Seeking Arrangements? Y'all remember that? This isn't the first time Fresh has been dating a questionable woman while simultaneously hopping on a podcast every other night telling thousands of men each night to not mess with thoughts and IG models and
how we met. The honest truth. No cap.
With no cap, we met on Seeking.
Fresh, I love you, brother. but I feel like you're walking into the path of becoming what I would say is a hypocrite, or you're just strictly delusional, something that you preach against. Mm-hmm. And I would just like for you to remain on your pivot while instructing the many. We got 4,000 people in here, while instructing them how to live their lives. Make sure you're very cognizant how you're living yours. I believe if you were speaking about a woman who, is in her early 20s, who came to Miami, who met high value men, like you would consider yourself, right?
Yeah, for this show, yeah.
Okay. if you would speak about that woman who met that guy on a multi-million-dollar yacht, mm-hmm. The first thing in the assumption wouldn't be she loves me or she likes me for me.
Fresh and Fit have locked themselves into a realm that they cannot get out of, and I would highly recommend that young men don't walk down this path. For whatever reason, whether it's because Fresh just isn't good looking enough or whatever, which I don't even think that's the problem. But when you make a podcast on social media talking crazy about women for 4 years straight, and fellas, I salute y'all, your content's great, but let's get to brass tacks. When you are around these Miami thoughts, when you lead with money, when you're around all these shallow women, when you're fucking with and dating women from the podcast behind the scenes, when you're engaging in a podcast that talks crazy about women consistently, you lock yourself in a box where the only kind of women that are willing to deal with you are women that you really don't want to see yourself walking off into the sunset with. How can Fresh possibly think that anyone would believe anything he says about game when the last chick you were parading around was a woman you met on Seeking Arrangements who had posted multiple TikTok videos bragging about men financing her lifestyle, and a woman that met you on a yacht? And you swore up and down, Fresh, she loved you for you, but you and anyone else could tell that woman was after only one thing, and it's money. We all know it's money. And it's okay to tell men, hey, look, what I'm doing right here, don't do this. I'm off in some weird shit. I'm doing some weird shit. I'm over here messing with chicks that only care about what I can provide for them. They don't look at me and see something they love. They look at what I can buy for them, and that's what they love. That right there, being honest with men and saying, look, guys, the advice I give you is solid, but I've reached a point of financial freedom in my life where I want to do weird shit with my money. The problem is trying to make these broken bridges meet. Trying to make it seem like somehow or another, this chick you met on Seeking Arrangements, who only was willing to meet with you when you brought her on a yacht, somehow likes you for you, is insane. And to make it all worse, Fresh went live with Miranda, tried to kiss her, and she pulled away.
Honestly, she didn't want to do this live stream. She's doing this for me, so I appreciate her for that.
Do I know you?
Do I know you?
How many incidents, how many f***s does Fresh get before people start to realize Fresh is not who he claims to be? Fresh is not this G. Fresh is not this guy that he claims to be. And it's not a personal attack. It's just facts. Like, he's leading with money. He's buying jewelry for these chicks. He's messing with chicks on seeking arrangements. Like, the reality of the situation is Fresh and Fit are not living out the proper advice for young men and men in general that they claim to be giving out. As a young man, the majority of these young men, as a young man, I know the majority of these young men watching Fresh and Fit, they don't want to be living in Miami surrounded by thoughts, spending money on Van Cleef bracelets and vacations here and taking the 20th of the month to meet their mother and all sorts of just disgusting activities. The reality is the average young man wants a cute to beautiful girl to take home, to marry and have kids with and have a family with. I understand that Fresh and Fit market some other things, but when we start talking about advice for young men, how can you reasonably, responsibly take life-changing advice from an individual whose only female connections are coming from seeking arrangements and possible escort activity?
Oh, number one, they were never in a serious relationship, okay? Though she might say, oh, I was in a serious relationship with him, and she goes on this podcast saying I loved him, etc. He was seeing other women. And you guys know that because if you saw the video clip, right, she says that he was talking to other women. So she knows that, right? So they met on November 21st at El Santo, okay?
Here's a problem with this. Fresh is on video telling this woman, I love you.
Listen, this was a great trip. Obviously, I love the Asian Queen again. But, you know, as time passes, we must take farewells for a short period of time. So she comes back. So, can't wait to see her back here in Miami.
Say you love me.
I love her. No, I do. Love you. So, yeah, that's the current status right now.
Fresh is on text telling this woman, I love you. It doesn't matter that Fresh was seeing other women. And if I recall correctly, on this show, Fresh and Fit, don't they always talk about how, yeah, you know, you're my main chick, but I got my side chicks. You know, you're my main, but I'm messing with other chicks on the side. You know, Andrew Tate pushes this, Fresh and Fit pushes this. How is it not a serious relationship? If Fresh is telling her, hey, look, I love you. He brought her out to meet his mother. This man brought her to meet his extended family in Barbados. Okay? If Fresh is doing all of this, how can you not call it a serious relationship? And if it wasn't serious to Fresh, that makes him an even bigger piece of crap. So you sat there and gassed this woman up, making her think you loved her when you didn't. You took her to meet your mother and your extended family, entertained the idea of having a baby and a family with her, acting as though you loved her when you didn't. That boggles my mind. I can't wrap my mind around telling someone I love them and engaging in almost husband and wife like activities and giving husband and wife sentiments to a woman and then just up and saying this was never a serious relationship. Excuse me, sir, you took her to meet your extended family in Barbados. I would never take my woman to meet any extended family in the Caribbean of mine unless it was serious. If Fresh wasn't serious about it, there's only one explanation. He was using his family and his mother and his home country as a means by which to dupe this woman into falling in love with him, which is disgusting. That's evil. That's nefarious activity. That's called nasty work. Myron then goes on to accuse Daisy of being a sex worker. Now, I don't know if it's 100% true. The woman in the video doesn't look exactly like Daisy, but definitely sounds just like her. Let's see the clip.
We got video and audio. Run the clip.
If you call me an escort, prove it. Prove it.
Firstly, do you take PayPal?
No.
Cash only?
No. We can transfer. Do you have cash?
I would prefer to pay you half first and then half after. It's never worked out good when I pay up front.
Why? I'm here. What are you worried about?
One time, I paid the girl up front. I was pleasured her. She said she came up 3 times and that she couldn't do it anymore.
So you're going to do it 10 times? 2 weeks?
I have been scammed in the past.
Yeah, but I'm a girl. I need to be more secure. If you're not making excuse, that means you are not willing to pay.
I would like to pleasure you morally for like an hour or so. It's not just me fucking. But yeah, usually I'll be for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Non-stop?
We stop for maybe 30 minutes, relax, sleep in, and then
I cannot stay for 2 and 3 hours.
you can't stay for 2 or 3
I can stay, but I cannot have sex for 2 and 3 hours. Like, who can do that?
It's not just sex for 2 3 hours. You will have to trust me on this. You will not be uncomfortable. You will not be painful. If you are, you may go. I will not force you to stay.
You can pay me half and I will stay here for 1 hour.
1 hour doesn't mean you're only going to stay for 1 hour.
Then I will stay here for 1 hour and I'll leave. Because for you, 1 hour is enough. You said 2 3 hours. I cannot stay for 2 and 3 hours.
You can't stay for 2 or 3
I
hours.
can't.
Honestly, the onus is on you to make this experience wonderful so that I will want to see you again.
Okay, so let's get started.
Are you sure?
Honestly, I can't tell if that's really her. The voice sounds exactly like her. So you know what? I'll give this one to Myron. Maybe she is a sex worker. This does not make Fresh look better. This makes him look exponentially worse. It's bad enough Fresh met her at a club. Gents, we all know you're probably not meeting wifey at the bar or the club. I'm just being real. Most dudes watching Fresh and Fit, y'all are never going to be Tate. Y'all are never going to be Fresh or Fit, and you don't want to be. Even if you had their money, you probably still wouldn't want to be. So you met her at the club. You met this woman at the club. The last chick you met was on Seeking Arrangements. You met this chick at the club. She's allegedly a former sex worker. This makes Fresh look exponentially worse. Now, I would imagine Myron is bringing this up to say, hey, look, how can we trust the word of a woman who won't even admit her past profession? We still don't know for sure. My issue with that footage is that doesn't look like her. Sounds like her. It's not built like her. She's very muscular, very built. If you look at pictures of her, you could very well see Daisy Fit Chen and that woman do not look alike. But I will give this one to Myron because the voice sounds the exact same. So with that being said, let's just say she is an escort. Let's say she's lying about having been an escort. What's going on in the Fresh and Fit camp to where these guys can't tell when they're dating a thought, a hoe, an Instagram model, or an escort? Like, I don't understand. As much video as there is of you guys talking about these chicks going to Dubai and going here and going there, how did Fresh fall in love with and get pregnant an escort? How is this possible? How is this possible? Now, Myron goes even further and drops even more bombs on the baby mama, bringing up videos of her blowing money, allegedly getting fired, documents of her allegedly being fired and having police reports filed on her.
Okay, yeah. She stole money from an individual, all right? And I had a friend of mine translate this for me. As you guys would know, I play Overwatch, right? And I have a buddy, I call him the Chinaman. And he went ahead and kindly translated this police report for us, and we have it for y'all here. Okay? At about 1940, on the evening of August 27, 2018, the reporter came to the police station to report that he met with a Chinese woman at about 12 o'clock noon on August 27, 2018 at lane 288 of Daza Road and exchanged 6,000 yuan for 870 with this woman. So basically, he wanted her to give him cash, right? At around 4:45 on August 27, 2018, the woman hailed a car through Didi Taxi and then asked the reporter for 6,000 RMB. And then the reporter gave 6,000 RMB to the woman, and the two got in the car. Soon after, she claimed that she needed to get money from China Construction Bank, name of the bank, and asked to stop at the China Construction Bank on Yongjia Road, Zhuish District, Shanghai. But the woman did not return 10 minutes after getting out the car, and the reporter sent a message to the woman, but she replied she didn't want to meet the reporter. The reporter felt that he had been defrauded, so he reported the case.
Now, we don't know for sure if this young lady actually stole this money. We don't know for sure if that was actually her. But Myron goes on to pull a clip up of a woman that looks absolutely nothing like her blowing money at some sort of high-class establishment.
The woman takes this guy's money and runs off with it, right? One of the people that she, one of her clients, right? So what does that say about her character? And you guys might be wondering, well, Myron, do you got proof? Oh, I do got proof, actually. I got video. Here she is, taking the dude's money and doing what she's about to do with it. Oh.
Neither of these women in this video look anything like her at all. Daisy Fit Chen is fit. She's got big shoulders, big arms. She does not look like either of these women. I understand that Myron is pulling out all the stops to defend not only his friend, but also his brand, but I'm sorry, I don't believe in this one. And furthermore, Fresh, how the hell did you get a Chinese baby mama? And if this video is true, yo, Chinese baby mama is ghetto. How could you, bro, like, how? Like, yo, your Chinese baby mama is blowing money like some type of, like, little hood rat. Like, they moving like, they, like, what's going on? Fresh? Fresh and Myron kept talking about, we don't fuck with no black chicks. We don't like no black chicks. You basically had a black baby mama. She hoeing, she stealing, she blowing money. I'm sorry, but you got you a hood, not even a black baby mama. Let me correct myself. You got you a hood baby mama, bro, from China. How is that even possible, Fresh? Make it make sense. How is this physically possible?
Here she is. We obviously blurted out personal information so that we wouldn't dox her. But it's to show you guys that we know what we're talking about here. We actually have her, Jin Chen. That's your real name, by the way, Jin Chen. It's not Daisy. You run around calling yourself Daisy Chen, but you're really Jin Chen. Okay? And we found out that you got fired from your job. Very interesting. By consensus of the parties, the worker is proved to be ineligible for employment during the probationary period. The worker seriously violates the rules and regulations of the unit. The employee seriously derelict in his duties or commits fraud for personal gain, causing major damage to the company.
You stupid.
The employee establishes labor relations with other employers at the same time, which has a serious impact on the completion of the work of the employer, or refuses to make corrections upon the company's request.
Herein lies the problem with this document, right? Let's read it together. Now, if we start at the beginning, it says, by consensus of the parties. It goes on to say the worker is proved to be ineligible for employment during the probationary period. The worker seriously violates the rules and regulations of the unit. The employee is seriously derelict in his duties or commits fraud for personal gain, causing major damage to the company. However, if we go to number 8, it says after the expiration of the medical treatment period, the worker cannot engage in the original job or the work arranged by the company. So this is not a list of what she did. It is a list of what you could do to be fired. There's no way she was ineligible for employment during the probationary period because we don't even know if she was on probation. The worker seriously violates the rules and regulations of the unit. Did she do that? The employee is seriously derelict in his duties or commits fraud for personal gain. Did she do that? The employee establishes labor relations with other employers at the same time. Did she do that? The personal certification materials provided by the employee to the company are false. Did she do that? Did she have medical issues that have prevented her from coming back to the job? What did she do? This is a list of the things she could do to be fired, not a list of what she did do to be fired. So let's just say it is true. For the sake of argument, let's just say it is true. This still looks horrible for Fresh. Your baby mama can't hold a job. She's stealing from folk, blowing money up inside of hotels. She's an escort. Like, this couldn't possibly be any more catastrophic and apocalyptic. I can't think of any worse scenario for anybody and your baby mama trying to destroy you on the internet. But it doesn't get any worse than this. Myron should have never done this video. And I know Myron did this with good intention, but Myron should have never done this video. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. And it all culminates into a serious, serious problem. See, apparently, Fresh denied ever buying Daisy Chen a Van Cleef bracelet. Now, Daisy Chen claims that they both went half and half. They both went half and half. She provided receipts to prove it. Now, the reason why I'm going to believe in this particular receipt and not all the receipts Myron provided is because the receipts of Jen Chen are Chinese. We can't corroborate what those documents are supposed to look like because China's an authoritative state that blocks itself off from everyone else. Not entirely, not like North Korea, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. We can't really corroborate those documents properly. However, the translations are accurate. I can tell you that much. In spite of the translations being accurate, we do not know about the validity or the accuracy or the truthfulness of those documents. However, Van Cleef receipts we can verify. So let's go into the Van Cleef situation.
Fresh did pay for that gift, even though he told fans they're stupid.
Half it.
They are literal receipts that show Fresh paid for it.
The Chinese escort, because I'm about to get Fresh on this one too. So Fresh, you gave an extremely expensive Von Cleef bracelet, which are worth up to $30K, to a Chinese escort you had just met. Now, Fresh, you claim that you didn't give her the gift. That's what you claim.
Show me the proof.
But the escort says that you did.
No,
Bro, he didn't. Number one, he didn't buy the bracelet for
So
her.
All ones
here's
in the
where
chat,
you're
that's
wrong.
crazy.
One, she's on escort, and two, I didn't buy a bracelet. So what are you trying to say, bro? Where's your proof? You have no proof.
Fresh, you're lying. Bro, you're fresh. You're fresh. You're a trick, bro. You're lying. And everyone sees it. There's all ones in the chat, bro.
So to put that on me, just because you want to say, oh, Fresh is a simp, wrong.
So you didn't buy it.
Fresh, so can you
No.
You're just trying to say that he bought the bracelet. He didn't buy the bracelet.
And
You're saying, oh, Fresh bought her a Van Cleef bracelet. You have no proof of this.
none.
No, it's not true. He paid half and I paid half. Like I said, how much? Around 30K. Well, first I still have the conversation. I told him, what's the issue if you tell everyone you bought me the bracelet? Like, why can't you tell everyone? Why can't you speak the truth? Like, why are you like pretending it, like hiding it? But then he was like, don't say it. He just told me to shut up.
All Fresh had to do was say, I'm a grown-ass man. You little don't tell me what to do with my money. This my woman. This is my woman. She's with me. She follow me. She do what I tell. She fuck with me. You don't tell me what to do with my money as it pertains to my woman. That's all Fresh had to do. That would be some grown man shit that I could respect. See, grown man shit from grown men gets respect. If Fresh said, yo, like I understand that I provide y'all entertainment and blah, 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 but there's certain shit that I do in my personal life that may not necessarily add up with what I say on here. I would advise you to stick to the advice we give you and do not dabble in the things that I do. Oh, and by the way, what I do with my money ain't none of your business. Instead, what ends up happening is Fresh denies it and says, nah, I never bought that. I didn't purchase that. I didn't get her that. The baby mama brought the receipts. Bro, never underestimate receipts in 2024. Everyone's got some kind of receipt. Never underestimate receipts in 2024. Honest to God, Fresh and Myron should have never responded to the baby mama. The baby mama has gotten absolutely everything she ever wanted from this situation, and they should have never said none to her, because now she's in position to basically demolish these two indefinitely. It's just a war now where she's providing pretty accurate receipts, and all they can provide is somewhat believable receipts, a possibly accurate video. I think that sounds exactly like her. I think that escort probably is Daisy Fit Chen. Fresh and Fit don't practice what they preach. And that's a conversation they need to have with their audience. Hey guys, for whatever reason, we associate with thoughts, escorts, IG models, the kind of women that you cannot come home to and expect a cooked meal from. The kind of woman you can't come home to and she says, honey, I read the kids a good night story and tucked them into bed. Or, honey, our son knows how to read a full page of XYZ book. You can't come home and see her holding the baby and having them watch whatever the little new show they got out there for you little kids. I forget the name of it. It's like popular. You can't come home and know that your baby, your wife, your woman is doing this. These kind of women that they're associating with, they're not mom material, bro. Let's keep it a stack. They're not wife material, bro. Let's be honest about that. Fresh and Fit need to come clean with their audience about these things and move forward with that information for what it is, instead of constantly trying to deny things. I don't think Myron and Fresh anticipated that the baby mama would go this wild, but she did. And you want to know why I think the baby mama did this much damage? Is because I think Fresh lied about how much he felt for her. I think Fresh lied and said, look, I love you. I care about you, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And then woke up one day and said, not interested anymore. That's the only explanation. Now, if I had to predict what Fresh is more than likely going to say, he's more than likely going to sit there and say, I didn't really like her. I never really felt that way for her. I was just running game on her. Whatever the case might be. But as we can clearly see here, the purchase of Van Cleef bracelets. Here we have Daisy Fit Chen's TikTok with a verification mark on the subreddit that follows all these red pill content creators. This was uploaded 3 months ago, before there was any reason for Fresh to dislike the baby mama. She posts saying there's a post on Reddit saying Walter bought her a $30K Van Cleef bracelet. And she posted saying, when I hear this song, I think about you, babe. She's talking about Fresh. New Year gift 2024, Miami unboxing Van Cleef Arpels. Lord have mercy. So somebody hopped in the comment section and says, after that big speech Wednesday on Fresh and Fit about how Fresh, Walter, didn't actually pay you to date him, now you posted this. He's constantly talking about talking about Van Cleef jewelry, so we all know he bought you this stuff. Hypothetically, it's hilarious. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Daisy responds saying, our feeling for each other is genuine. Is there something wrong if your man loves you and buys you a gift? So here we see the Van Cleef and Arpel bracelet. Apparently this is the one, 18,000, which matches up with the amount that Daisy posted. 18K. So it's not looking good for Fresh. It's looking absolutely atrocious for Fresh right now. This is horrible. Then we have more people on this subreddit posting even more damning evidence about Fresh. Fresh, as we see here, took this woman Daisy to meet his mother. Now, if you look clearly here, Daisy looks nothing like any of the other women we saw in any of those videos that Myron posted. They don't look alike. Like in terms of body build, posture, even the lips, the nose, they don't look alike. But Walter Weeks apparently took this woman to meet his mother. According to Myron, Fresh takes every girl he talks to meet his mother. This is disrespectful if it's true. The fact that Fresh is bringing all of these women to meet his mom, it's like, bro, you're using your mom as bait for these women to fall in love with you. Have you no respect for your mother? If you were to bring a woman home to your mother, at least genuinely like her. I can understand if y'all were teenagers in high school. She's got to meet your mom eventually. You live with your mama. But you live independent of your mom. You make great amount of money doing an amazing, entertaining podcast. I gotta give it to y'all. Y'all are good at what you do. You make all this money. You take this woman to meet your mom. You take this woman to meet your extended family in Barbados. And yet somehow or another, it's okay. Right? And yet somehow or another, this is cool. Taking women to meet your mother, taking women to Barbados, getting them to fall in love with you by giving them wifey treatment. Ain't nothing really cool about this. If you can't just stand up like a standing man emoji and a woman looks at you and says, I like him. If you can't be yourself and she says, I love him. If you have to use your family, your mother, money, Van Cleef bracelets as a means by which to get her to like you, there's a problem. Why are you busting down $18,000 on these pieces of jewelry for this woman? You've only known her for a certain amount of months. Why? Why are you taking all these women to meet your... It's becoming increasingly clear to me the only explanation I can think of is Fresh is using money and his family as a means by which to lull women into a false sense of security and love to get what he wants out of them. And then drop them. But it gets even worse. Because thanks to Alba and Preach, there's an even sicker video of Fresh. Apparently Fresh coerces women into getting an abortion by convincing them that he wants to be with them as long as they get rid of the baby. I shit you not, I shit you not, I shit you not.
Something called a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And like,
shit.
basically...
You about to tell this story?
Let's do it.
Okay, so basically, right, I was with this chick. If you guys know Tom Likas, there's something called a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And like,
shit.
basically...
You about to tell this story?
Let's do it.
Okay, so basically, right, I was with this chick, and we were kind of like fizzling out. It wasn't working out. But she got pregnant. And then I kind of told her, like, yo, we can work this out. Don't worry about it. But we can't have kids right now. And then I did a Hail Mary. And now I'm here.
No, tell them what the Hail Mary is. Tell them what the Hail Mary is. Tell them what it is.
Okay.
Go all the way.
Okay. So the Hail Mary is, for example, right, where like you tell the chick what she wants to hear, and you can have kids later on, make her get an abortion, you take her to McDonald's, get a McGriddle, and an orange juice, you sit her down, you tell her about life, and you started this happen, and you never see her again. Wait.
That got really dark. You couldn't get her a nicer meal.
Fresh. You ever gonna stop self-snitching?
Again!
Y'all too grown, like, bruh, here's my problem. Fresh and Fit, y'all too grown to think that y'all, like, bruh, y'all too old to be doing this, bro. Like, to come on social media and tell that story and think it's fly, as I've gotten older, I've realized a lot of the red pill ideology is twisted in a way. It's sickeningly twisted. And to use a woman's love for you to trick her into terminating a baby she might have kept, and then to just like, so she's left with a broken heart and a dead child. Come on, Fresh. Like, y'all know, really? Like, bro, really? Like, no. Like, bro, like, at some point, we gotta talk about this, bro, because, like, there's parts of the red pill that I agree with. There's aspects of men's self-improvement and red pill content that I agree with. But, like, this level of nefarious activity has got to be talked about. There's nothing wrong with cutting your losses. There's nothing wrong with saying, like, oh, she doesn't like, bro, if a woman doesn't like you, it's fine. You don't need to take her to meet your mother. You don't need to take her to meet your extended family. You don't need to buy her Van Cleef. You don't need, like, if a woman doesn't like you, it's okay. Make peace with that. Make peace with it. If you don't want to get women pregnant, you can always get a vasectomy. You can have her get on birth control. But see, here's the problem, right? Fresh and Fit tell men to 50 different chicks. This is the problem when you're messing with all these women, unprotected as well. When you're messing with all these different women, even protected, you run the risk of getting one of them pregnant. Not all of them are going to be wifey material, and there's no guarantee that the one you get pregnant will be the one who you want to be your wife. The one who you want to be your wife might not be pregnant, and the one who's an absolute nightmare might be blowing up your phone talking about, it's your baby. We got to talk about this. And best case scenario, I would love to talk to Fresh and Fit about and debate them on this shit, because the reality of the situation is a lot of the shit that they preach is just not good to keep on a man's soul. It's just, these aren't the kind of decisions you want weighing on your soul. We all do bad things. We all make mistakes. We all do things we wish we could take back in romantic relationships. But I don't think it's right to encourage young men to do these things, or to glorify these things, or to laugh about these things. These kinds of decisions, if you got any semblance of humanity, will leave a scar on you and an unnecessary weight on you. I think it's honorable and right for a man to say, you know what? Call it quits. It's over with. I can't do anything to fix it. It's honorable for a man to say, hey, you know what? I'm talking to one woman right now, or maybe even two. Let me figure out which one is good for me. Rather than juggling 50 different women, risking all sorts of health issues and baby issues, for the sake of what? For the sake of what? And then to lie to a woman who's in love with you and say, babe, we'll get back together. I love you. We're going to do this right, but just not right now. And then to never speak to her again after you know she's aborted the baby is just crazy. Ultimately, Fresh and Fit they should have ignored the baby mama. They should have. But neither side wants to listen to their lawyers. Both sides' attorneys are telling them, stop talking, stop talking, stop talking. But they won't stop talking. And every day, newer and newer receipts come to light. If either of these two parties were smart, they'd stop talking. And to be honest, I'm not pro-abortion, but at this stage in the game, there's been so much damage caused to this situation, I don't even think she should give birth to the baby. What is she going to gain from going back to China with a black baby? The East is not like the West. You can't have a half black baby and, people just get on with their lives. She's not going to be treated the same way that she was before. She comes home with a black baby. If she was smart, if she was smart, she would not have this baby. And if Fresh was smart, he would stop messing with all these 304s, all these thoughts. Ain't nothing wrong with finding you a normal, average woman. You want to find you a good chick. Ain't nothing wrong going to the library. Do something wholesome. Something that doesn't involve messing with grade A thoughts. Possible escorts. IG models from Miami. It's okay to find you a normal, common woman. It's absolutely okay. Man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is a crazy video. I mean, this has been wild. I think I gotta salute Myron for going to bat for his homeboy, because we don't really see a lot of that nowadays. But Myron needs to realize that there's nothing Fresh can do. There's nothing you can do, Myron. Fresh has dug himself into a hole, and if he's lucky, he can placate the baby mama, convince her to let go of this baby, and they can just move on with their lives. But right now, this war, this back and forth, I don't know. It's sad. It's unfortunate for that child. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.